If you're new here, first of all, hi, welcome, thank you. Uh, Everyone must hit the like. Everybody. That goes for everyone. Can't hear me. Oh, what the fuck? Audio is mute. God damn it. Looks good on my end. Now it's good? What the fuck? Okay. Anyway, hi. Welcome. Don't know what the hell that was about. That was weird. I didn't even really do anything, but okay. Hi. Welcome. Hope everyone's doing good. Hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe and the bell. Join the Discord. Brooke dropped it in the chat. There. Kind of excited to watch Vision Season 3. Okay, well, that's good. That's cool. I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm intrigued. It was only mute for a bit. Oh, well. Wait, so I didn't need to rehash my whole intro? God damn it. Oh, well. It started working again. That's all that counts. Yay. Yeah. So what's up? How's the beginning of everyone's week? Mine's been a bit crappy, but that's okay, because now we're hanging out and getting nerdy, and I don't have to care for a couple hours, give or take. So what's up with y'all, man? What's up with y'all? No. TLDR. Nothing to TLDR currently. Work is okay. Keyboard was acting weird. Your keyboard or Josh's? Yeah, what the hell's up with that? RIP Josh's stream and keyboard. Well, after I saw that you did that, I hopped over to his channel and he already deleted the VOD, so you're going to have to tell me what the fuck happened, Spicy Dan. Inquiring minds want to know what's going down. Very light news, but courtesy of Delta Dan, we're going to have a little fun tier list. Yeah, that's right. Delta Dan, his idea. This particular tier list that we're going to do. Credit where it's due, motherfucker. And this time, it's due to Delta Dan. Excuse me. Yep. I hope everyone's had a good week so far. I had the day off work today. Spent it helping out with the grandkids. He spilled tequila on his keyboard. Oh, jeez. Was he that angry with the visions, or did he just fucking get klutzy? He was pouring it off camera. Oh man. So it wasn't and dropped it all. Oh Jesus. So it wasn't like a crash out thing. Like he didn't just hate visions because he's deleted the VOD. The VOD is gone. I went and checked after I saw what you typed in there. Well, he's gonna have to go to Target or some shit tomorrow and get a keyboard. Wally World, Costco, Best Buy, whatever. Walmart. I call Walmart Wally World because National Lampoon's Vacation. Some of you should understand that shit. Chevy Chase, Christy Brinkley in her prime. Come on now. I know everyone fucking knows about Christmas Vacation, but it was just regular old Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation. That's what fucking started it. Cross country drive to go to Wally World. Yep, fucking hilarious stuff. If you haven't watched it, you should fucking watch it for sure. Damn. Yeah, that's why I don't pour. I just shoot. Yes, I know it's a school night, but I don't care. I'm not gonna go like I would on a Saturday, but also pros. And that is how you don't spill your liquor on your keyboard. Cinnamon, in. Checking out one more thing. Yep. Where's the one I'm looking for? Fucking shit. Why? Do 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 bunch of bullshit. Oh well. Oh, one more try, maybe, baby. Wah, 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 wah. You know what I'm gonna do, Cat? I'm gonna see if this is the fucking quote I'm looking for. I have to do that first. If this is what I'm looking for, I'm gonna be a happy camper. Excuse me. Nope, that is it. Yay. Cool. I found what I was looking for. Rivals ain't going great tonight. Well, that's a bummer, buddy. No one likes to hear that. Are you in quick play? Are you in ranked? Or are you doing the zombie thing? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Which version are you playing? Nobody like hanging it. Yeah. All right. Let's get into this here shit. So, as we've talked about for a hot minute now, and as we are all now aware, Warner Brothers is up for sale. And despite having its first three offers rejected, somehow Paramount is still considered the front runner for the purchase. Now, there's a lot of considerations going into that, political considerations and other kinds of shit like that. But in quick play, you're on Nightmare 4 with zombies. Haven't tried it yet, but I need someone to carry you from one. That's me anytime I open that game up. So I feel you, dog. I feel you. Anywho, so Paramount is still the front runner despite three offer rejections to this point. So, given that there are very, very powerful parties who seem to want this to happen, and given James Gunn's reputation, earned or not, of being left of center, the typical Hollywood liberal schmo, he has that rep, earned or not, true or not. That's his overall rep. So many people speculate that that reputation will not mix well with the Ellisons, who would be the people that own Warner Brothers if Paramount buys them. People think that's not good for James Gunn's future. Another thing that, at least for now, does not seem to be like a massive plus, a big, something that'll increase his odds of keeping his job, is the upcoming slate. We have Supergirl. And now remember, the importance of the upcoming slate is based on the fact that Superman did decent. I can't remember exactly. Was it mid 600s? What was Superman's final box office? I know it was over 600, unlike Fantastic Four. Oh, come on. fucking answer, Google. That's not Google. Okay. When was this? Okay, so that's two different sources. 615 basic and 984. Okay. Just under 616 million for Superman. All right. So decent, not magnificent. You know, cleared 600, not by a whole shit ton. Didn't even get to mid sixes. You know, even 650 would have been dope. Um, so but decent, not amazing, definitely not shitty. Cracked 600 milli. Um, but not the super rockin' start that one would hope for your new cinematic universe, right? They WB, Gunn, DC Studios, they all played it off like, hell yeah, that's awesome. That's exactly what we wanted. Um, Probably not true. Probably not exactly what they wanted. They're like, cool. Now, to be fair, to be fair, um, that was the second movie in a month of three movies that were all going to step all over each other's toes, regardless. Um, Obviously, Rebirth did the best, cleared 800 million. If it comes out a month earlier, it's probably $1 billion movie, just like the first three. You and your girls carve pumpkins tonight. You put a pic in Discord. Ooh, I'll have to check that shit out. That's awesome, dude. Pumpkin carving is fun. Messy as fuck, but it's fun, and you can bake the pumpkin seeds and salt them, and it'll be yummy. Fun little snacks. So you've got a decent start, but not an amazing start. And then your next movie is Supergirl, which personally I'm looking forward to. I like Millie Alcock as an actress. What I know of the Woman of Tomorrow story that they're adapting, it seems pretty fucking cool. Jason Momoa Lobo, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie. Um, and if Superman had like exploded, that being the second movie would probably, it'd be cool. Um, but having a known but not like super popular amongst the general audience character as like your second movie, not your fifth or sixth movie, your second movie. Um, might not work out the best. Okay. Um, like I hope that movie does well. I'm looking forward to that movie. I'm gonna go see that motherfucking movie. But let's just say its future is uncertain. It could, this is the type of movie that could pop off. This movie could do anything, really. It's got the potential to be really cool, but it could very just as easily do okay, like Superman did, and it could also very easily fucking bomb. You know? And then the next movie after that is Clayface. Yeah. Yeah. Um. And then in 2027 you do have Man of Tomorrow. So basically Superman 2. Whether he wants to call it that or not, that's what it is. So that's on the cinematic side. On the HBO side, we had Creature Commandos, which I enjoyed. I think we all mostly enjoyed that when we were watching it together. Um, but like, not a lot of people watched it. Then you have Peacemaker, season 2, which overall not a lot of people watched. But the people that loved that show fucking loved that show, and they were really enjoying the second season. Some were saying the first was still better, but they were still very much enjoying the second season. And then came the finale. I remember opening up Twitter the day after the finale, and my timeline was full of very, very upset Peacemaker fans. Not necessarily everyone I follow is a Peacemaker fan or upset, but the people I follow that do like Peacemaker were retweeting all kinds of other people that like themselves were fucking pissed about that finale. Now I didn't watch the show. Like I have no dog in that fucking fight whatsoever. I had no interest in watching the first season of Peacemaker. I have no interest in watching the second season of Peacemaker. Anything I feel I need to know prior to Man of Tomorrow coming out, that's what fucking YouTube is for. Or at least, in general, the internet. Yeah, I think Momoa's. I think they. Delta Dan. I think Momoa. I'm not going to guarantee he's going to be a help to the box office, but he definitely has the potential to put the booties in the seats. Oh, I'm glad you brought up the budget, because guess what I just saw today, chat? Did I bookmark it? No, fuck that. Anyway, so I saw a report today. I can't remember which magazine it came from, but it just came out today that the combined budget of production and all the marketing they did for Superman, which is the number that we use in our box office break even calculation. Or no, it's not. Wait a minute. Yeah. So they better put a ton of Lobo in the trailers. Yeah, they probably should. I may have to delete a tweet. Shit. I think I fucked it up. I think I fucked it up. Damn, how long ago did I fucking do that shit? Oh, there it is. Yeah, we'll delete that one. So, yeah. So check this shit out. Culture base, they aggregate. The new report says James Gunn's Superman marketing budget was almost the same amount as the movie's budget, almost $500 million combined. Now, To determine the break-even box office point, you need 2.5 times the marketing budget, and that number is supposed to cover, or the production budget. That number is supposed to include how much marketing was. So, according to this, again, Superman's marketing budget was almost the same amount as movie's budget, almost 500 million combined. So we know, or at least we've been told, by the way, that this movie's production budget was what, 225? So if that means, so 2.5 times that, 450, 120. Yeah, I need to delete that fucking tweet. I can't do that. Get out of that. But yeah, so they spent $500 million on that movie total. It made 615, so it did make money. Okay, when that article came out saying it made some money, it actually did make some money, about a little over 100 million. 115.9, whatever the fuck it was to be precise. But so you got a movie you spent a fuck ton of money on that you made a little bit on, but not a lot. Then you have Supergirl. Then you have Clayface. And then finally in 2027, probably long after this deal is going to be fucking done. Actually, no, let's not go that far. But a deal with somebody should be in process by the time Man of Tomorrow comes out, right? And then on the TV side, after Creature Commandos, which no one watched, after Peacemaker, which not a lot watched, and then the finale pissed off a lot of those who did watch it, then you got Lanterns next. Now, Lanterns, up until this point, a lot of people have been like, this sounds fucking dope. Let's do this shit. And then, I think the showrunner or the director or somebody came out and said, I swear, I pull shit up and then it ends up being meant to. I think I pull it up and then it ends up being meant to. Okay, so I did. Okay. All right. So, now it comes to Lanterns. Clayface should come out after the next Batman movie or right after Pequin. You think there's going to be a season 2? I don't think there's going to be a season 2. I mean, maybe, but I think whomever purchases Warner Brothers is going to make sure its version of the DCU is going to be 100% unified. And I don't think they're going to give the entire thing to Matt Reeves. I don't think Matt Reeves wants the entire thing. But we'll see. But we shall see, of course. Anywho. So, some people higher up in the Lantern show have been talking about the Lantern show. And I'm not sure about if it's a ton of feathers, but there's definitely some feathers that have been ruffled. So this was the first one. Lanterns is described as being as much of a buddy cop show as a superhero show. I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally cool with that. That was Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, I don't want the Deadpool and Wolverine vibe for Lanterns. But in general, I'm kind of a buddy cop guy. I like buddy cop projects. Shit, they were a big thing in the 80s. I grew up on fucking buddy cop projects. Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours. Oh, Eddie Murphy was in both of those. Anywho, a lot of buddy cop shit back in the day. So I'm totally down for buddy cop shit. Obviously, I don't want Lanterns to be the Goofy style buddy cop shit. And according to a lot of reports, it's not. It's going to be pretty serious. The show True Detective has been thrown around as the vibe. So I'm not too worried about the goofy part of a buddy cop thing. But I like a buddy cop thing. It's this next part that's ruffled some feathers. Our show is in a lot of ways about replacement. When should someone step aside, and when is it time for the next person to take the reins? Okay, so why that is ruffling some feathers is because from the sound of that, it looks like it makes it seem like they're bringing in Hal Jordan, who is in the comics the motherfucking Green Lantern. He's kind of like the Anakin of the Green Lantern Corps. He's the Lantern. He's the best Lantern. He's got the most willpower. He's the epitome of what the beings who created the Lanterns wanted them to be. He's not the first Lantern. That was Alan Scott. But the way he's been written over the years makes him the Lantern. So when people who have been longtime fans of Hal Jordan and have been looking forward to see an awesome Hal Jordan on the big screen, for once, y'all know what I'm talking about. And then for it to seem like they're bringing him in on a TV show, only to have him pass the torch immediately to Jon Stewart. They're a bit upset, and I personally don't blame them. Like, I don't have a dog in this race. I know what I know about Hal Jordan, thanks to comics. I know what I know about 98% of my comic knowledge, 99% of my comic knowledge comes from Rob, the Comics Explained. So, I don't know a shit ton, but I have listened to enough Lantern videos to know that Hal Jordan is the fucking Lantern. And that I do believe people that are upset over the possibility of him, being introduced and then also potentially put out to pasture in the same project that introduces him to the DCU, I can see how that would ruffle some feathers. And then, and personally, I think this one is even worse. And I think this is the same dude that said the other shit. And if it is, then maybe the Hal Jordan fans might have something to think about. Because listen to this shit. Lantern showrunner Chris Mundy, and this, by the way, this came out after Josh's Lanterns rant this morning, so I don't know if he's seen this one or not. I tagged him in it on the TwitX, so who knows. But, so if he did see it, I'm sure he got even more triggered than he was on stream this morning. Lantern showrunner Chris Mundy says Jon Stewart's construct powers are based in creativity, while Hal Jordan just wants to hit everything with a big green fist. Oh boy. Now again, I don't know much about Hal Jordan or the Lantern Corps. But what I do know, again gleaned from the mind of Rob over at Comics Explained, I do know there's a lot more to Hal Jordan than just wanting to hit everything with a big green fist. Like, that is ridiculous. I really can't believe he actually said that shit out loud. And if that's how he feels about Hal Jordan, I'd say Hal Jordan fans have at this point even more justification to be worried about what's going to happen to their guy. Like, if he literally feels that Hal Jordan is that limited, yeah, that Uh, First of all, it's goddamn ridiculous. That's number one. Number two, he obviously doesn't know shit. In which case, I have no idea why Gunn hired him. Because if he thinks this, he doesn't know shit. And number three, I'm not even a Hal Jordan fan per se, but that's just stupid. It's just insanely fucking stupid. So we've got all that going on in the DCU and an upcoming sale. To again, the leading candidate is Paramount still. Again, even though they've been rejected 3 times. So Charles Murphy comes out with an article today about what could happen to Mr. Gunn at Paramount. And remember, the leading speculation, not known, not even officially reported, as it were. I mean, there have been reports about the possibilities, but those are all speculative reports. The only thing we have is speculation right now and rumor. Okay? So, but today, we got this from Charles Murphy. James Gunn's post Warner Brothers Discovery sale fate reportedly sealed. Ooh, sounds ominous. With Warner Brothers Discovery up for sale, an inch of uncertainty about the future of the studio's major brands has turned into a mile of bullshit. I love that. Excuse me. Paramount has long been seen as the frontrunner to seal a deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery and all the companies under its umbrella, including Cartoon Network, CNN, DC Studios, and HBO. And a recent article claimed if the deal were to go through, Paramount CEO David Ellison would seek to oust James Gunn, head of the still new DC Studios. According to Bloomberg, and I'm going to add, however, should Paramount complete the purchase, Ellison, quote, plans to keep much of Warner Brothers Discovery Inc. intact. More relevant to the rumors of Gunn's departure, Ellison is said to want to, quote, keep the creative teams of the two studios, the Warner Brothers and DC Studios, which would include, one might assume, Gunn and DC Studios co-chair Peter Safran. Yes, meanwhile, that would, on the Warner Brothers main studio side, that would mean Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy, who are probably much more safe at this point than Gunn, considering how Warner Brothers has done this year. Like, Warner Brothers Studios has killed it this year. One of them, one Warner Brothers overall project was Superman, but, like, a lot of their other movies fucking killed it. So Warner Brothers is having themselves a year. That's putting the cart before the horse, however, as Warner Brothers Discovery has thrice denied Paramount's bids to buy the company, and there's plenty of opposition in Hollywood. Outside of that sphere of influence, concerns about a potential monopoly have been raised as well. Yeah, plenty of opposition in Hollywood. Good luck. Because, have y'all seen about how the WGA has vowed to block this merger? They have no shot. Hollywood has no shot at stopping this whatsoever. Here's why. And this, again, this is assuming it's Paramount, right? I've talked about this before, but I'm going to TLDR it real quick. Here's why Hollywood has no shot of stopping this purchase. Ellisons are tight with Trump. The people that would be determining if this merger could go through legally would be the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission. The leaders of both of those entities, appointed by Mr. Trump, and are basically hand puppets. Story came out not that long ago, I think, in the New York Post, about how an aide flat out came out and said that Trump wants it to be Paramount that buys Warner Brothers, and that anyone other than Paramount, I can't remember exactly what he said, but to paraphrase, it's going to be very difficult for anyone other than Paramount to get approval for the deal. So, and then even if this is attempted to be fought in the courts, it will eventually make it to the Supreme Court, which has a 6-3 conservative majority. So, between the administration and the Supreme Court, Hollywood is fucked. It's just all there is to it. Yeah, outside of that sphere of influence, concerns about a potential monopoly have been raised as well. Yes, of course, those concerns have been raised, but again, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, DOJ, Department of Justice, leaders of which Trump hand puppets. SCOTUS, 6-3 conservative majority. Occasionally, one or two of the conservatives will break. But, yeah. Hollywood, fuck. People that think they're going to be able to stop it based on monopoly, fucked. If Paramount wins the bid, this shit's getting rubber stamped. End of story. Anyway. Oh, okay. So this is about the quote also. Should it all go down, however, Gunn recently confirmed that his plans for the all-new, all-different DCU, interesting phrasing, definitely go significantly further than Man of Tomorrow, which is scheduled for a 2027 release. Certainly aware of the impact of a potential change at the top, however, Gunn recently cast doubt on whether or not he'd be able to bring all his plans to fruition. So whether or not that'll be me that's able to fulfill that promise depends on a lot of things in life, he recently told Boba Talk. It now looks like at least one of those things should no longer be a concern. Okay, so that quote he mentioned at the end. That's what I was searching for and did find it. So we can hear it right from the horse's mouth. Okay, I'll let this. Oh, we're already back around to that? Nice. Okay, so we'll do that. Turn this up. So those quotes that Charles Murphy at the end of the line, stop it, came from this right here. This is the Boba Talks podcast, and this is the full quote.
Absolutely. So one thing I've been really curious about is you've referenced things like Peacemaker.
Is it just me or does he look kind of like Daniel Radcliffe? A little bit, like his cousin or something. He could be Daniel Radcliffe's cousin. Just, yeah, I digress. What's new?
Season 2 and Lanterns setting up different threads and arcs. How far do these arcs go? Like, do they culminate in Man of Tomorrow, or can we expect them to go further than that?
Yes, they definitely go
Okay, he definitely looks like Daniel Radcliffe. Sorry, moving on.
significantly further than Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now, whether or not that'll be me that's able to fulfill that promise depends on a lot of things in life. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that was the quote. So, on the one side, we have a fuck ton of speculation and deduction and, using a lot of logic, connecting some fairly obvious fucking dots. And a lot of people think that Gunn is toast. Or at least there's a really good chance that Gunn is toast. What up, C-Dub? Especially if these next few projects don't go well. There's a fair if the next few projects don't go well, there's a fair chance Gunn is toast no matter who buys this motherfucker. No one wants to be saddled with a franchise that's already kind of right. So I think performance is going to kill him, or could be the nail in his coffin for anyone that purchases Warner Brothers. But setting that consideration aside, again, a lot of people think he and Paramount will not mix, and that he be gone if Paramount buys him. But then Bloomberg, which is a business magazine, they come out and say that, nah, fam, when Paramount, if Paramount is the one to buy Warner Brothers, they're going to want to keep their creative teams intact. Which, again, in Warner Brothers, just straight up Warner Brothers Studios is Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi, who've had themselves a year, so they're probably good. And that also means DC Studios and Peter Safran and James Gunn. So Bloomberg says Paramount's going to want to keep him around. Admittedly, all speculation and rumor says he's probably gone. Now, mind you, you could treat what Bloomberg says as a rumor too. I mean, they're reporting it as inside sources and shit, but inside sources only know what they have access to. Now there are rumors that are probably have a very high potentiality to be true. But things can change in the instant. So now, if Bloomberg sources are correct, that's fucking great news for Gunn. And frankly, whether you like all of what Gunn has done or not having to fucking start from scratch and actually see where this thing goes is, in my opinion, a good thing. Now, if he keeps doing goofy shit and it starts to show in the projects, I will change my mind. But I really like Superman. I thought it was a fun movie. I'm looking forward to Supergirl. I'm not like a humongous Hal Jordan fan. There are a ton of people that are. So if they do what it kind of sounds like they're doing with Lanterns, I'm not going to be like, that's not something I'm going to flip out about, right? I mean, knowing what I know, I'll probably be like, I probably wouldn't have done it that way. But, on the other hand, if they do Jon Stewart right and he's super fucking dope, I'm here for it. Obviously, Jon Stewart fans will be here for it. And, some of the Hal Jordan fans might come around if they, make it super awesome. Or if they find a really, really, really good way in the show to actually, if they do a good passing of the ring, substitute, ring for torch. Now, if they do that well, they could be okay. If they do it like in the MCU did with Cap to Sam, they're fucked. Because that'll piss off Jon Stewart fans. If they think he got the ring in a lame way, they're going to be not happy also. Got to be very, very careful when you're passing the torch or whatever the equivalent is in, the project you're doing. In Marvel's case, the shield. In DC's case, the lantern ring. So they got to do that well. Period. Fucking that up will tank that entire show. And they'll make it even more difficult for people to want to see Clayface. Because especially if Supergirl is not that great, and then Lanterns pisses a bunch of people off, and then the next project is Clayface, before you even get to Man of Tomorrow. Ooh. Paramount is keeping Zaslav on as CEO indefinitely? I thought they were going to give him a big fucking check and send him on his way. Where'd you hear that at? I probably missed something. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I didn't see that part. The last thing I saw was... Actually, what was the last thing I saw? You know what? Forget it. That's interesting, though. They do keep Daddy's ass on as CEO. That'd be interesting. What do you guys think? Obviously, C-Dub thinks he's staying. That will be interesting for sure. I mean, definitely, if they're keeping Daddy Zaz on, actually, you know what? Zaz did hire Saffron, but I don't know if you know what went on behind that. They never wanted James Gunn. They didn't even necessarily want Saffron. He was their last choice to take the job, and they didn't even want Gunn with him. The reason Gunn is with Saffron is because of Saffron. Saffron's like, I need this motherfucker for the creative shit. I can't do that. So Daddy Zaz said, okie dokie. So like Zaz is not necessarily a Gunn fan. And as we've seen, Daddy Zaz is ruthless as fuck. See Batgirl. See the Looney Tunes movie. Was that another version of Space Jam or some shit that he was fucking around with? A couple other things. What Daddy Zaz don't like, Daddy Zaz doesn't fuck with. And this purchase would give him the perfect excuse, should he choose to take it, to get rid of Gunn, whom he never wanted in the fucking first place. And literally got stuck with, because he literally got stuck with Saffron as the only one who wanted that fucking job. And Saffron refused to take it, which would have left Zaz with zero options, unless he brought Gunn along in. I'm not saying he would. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying I would not be surprised if Daddy Zaz took this opportunity to be like, I never wanted this motherfucker in the first place. Hey, yo, David Ellison, could you do me a favor and chunk this motherfucker? Please and thanks. You just DoorDashed the Cheesecake Factory key lime cheesecake. Had a rough week. Don't care. Bro, I don't blame you in the slightest. I mean, I'm not a key lime guy, but I do like cheesecake. You had to bring up cheesecake. I haven't had cheesecake in a minute. Sounds fucking good. Damn it, C-Dub. Plus, I've been you picking up what I'm laying down, chat? I know y'all get it. Hey, you combine that with cheesecake. I have some chocolate over on the dresser. I might have to get up and get a little chocolate here in a bit. Oh, damn it. Excuse me. All right, chat. Why don't you formulate some final thoughts on that whole thing? Will he stay? Will he go? Should he stay or should he go now? Will he stay or will he go now? You think about that? Let me know in the chat. I'm gonna go pee, and then we're gonna have a little fun now. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Okay. Okay. You guys ready for some fun? A little bit of debate amongst ourselves, but some fun. Delta Dan suggested this, I don't know, a week or so ago. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna have a little fun. We are going to do a tier list. This tier list will consist of all the Disney Plus shows from Star Wars and Marvel. And we're going to throw them all on the tier list. I'm going to keep track of how many are in each category. Star Wars and Marvel. Count them up, and then we will know once and for all, unequivocally, which franchise had the worst overall set of Disney Plus shows. Oh, goddamn, C-Dub, that blows dog. Fucking 13 and a half hour day? You? Sorry, 14 and a half hour day. I can't math. Yeah, because 8 is 13. No, yeah, 13 and a half. I was right the first time. Said fucking quit your normal time before? Hell yeah. What up, Executive Judge? That's what we're going to do, chat. We are going to determine for all time. No, it's all going to be in one, and then I'm going to count stuff. We will know. And we will be able to tell the world, the universe, the internet, whatever you want to fucking say, whether it was Marvel or Star Wars that had the best overall slate of Disney Plus shows. Are you ready, chat? Now, this is a pre-set up tier list because I realized to make my own tier list, I would have to have a fuck ton of images in my memory that I don't have, and I didn't have time to do all that shit because I had other shit to do today. So I'm just going with this pre-made one, which is almost completely comprehensive. It's missing a couple things, and it has movies in it for some fucking reason. Now, we're not doing like limited specials or anything like that, like series. Okay? Let us begin with Marvel. Now, I am going to have to pop over to Wikipedia for reference because I can't remember all this shit on my own. So we're going to do some back and forth, but we're going to begin with Marvel. In Phase 4, WandaVision, first show to come out. I had it earlier. There it is, WandaVision. Where are we putting WandaVision, chat? If the finale was better, I would put it in S tier. But the finale is not enough to kill the whole thing for me, so I'm putting WandaVision in A tier. What do you think, chat? A tier? Different tier? I might be able to be convinced to move it, but for right now, she's in A tier. A or B? Right, it's just that finale that tainted it, right? So are we all cool with A tier for WandaVision? This is coming from someone who did like the finale, right? Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as a lot of other people did, but it was kind of weak. So, all right, but I'm going A tier. So let it be written, so let it be done. Next, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And there it is. What do we think of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, chat? It was not a good show. finale was really super lame. A lot of the, even, the rest of the show was kind of, eh. So, however, a B from Executive Judge, C from Brooke Chen, D for C-Dub. Now, see, cool. I actually I was not a big fan of that show. Like, I have it borderline just on its own between C and D. Because it was really, really not good. However, I am going to give this show a little grace because I know what happened to it. And what happened to it was the original story was about a pandemic. And then we got one. So they're like, that's a bit too on the nose. So they changed it all in the last minute, redid it, reshot it, yada, yada, yada. And it was a big of a mess. But that part was not their fault. So I shall give it grace. And I shall drop it in C, but only because of that. You know what? I should have added a category just for that show we were talking about. Damn it. I wonder if it'll let me. I wonder if it'll let me add a thing. Will it let me add a thing? No? Okay. Damn. All right. Next. Loki. Now, a couple of these they have, they have 2 seasons of What If on here. We're not going multiple seasons. We're taking the shows as a whole. Multiple seasons if it's the case. Whatever. There's Loki. There it is. You see, they got Loki and Loki season 2. But I found Loki. So where are we going to put Loki, chat? Where do you guys want to put Loki? I 100% agree, C-Dub. Zemo was the best part. Kind of. Executive Judge says for Loki, S tier, baby. Loki should be S tier. With the first good MCU Disney Plus finale too. I mean, yeah. When you combine, do we want to do multiple seasons? Well, because they don't have multiple seasons of everything that has multiple seasons. I don't want to do multiple seasons. A tier. I'm going to go A tier because there were a couple parts in there that I was like, like the whole fucking transport scene where he's like getting drunk and singing and shit, like that didn't need to be that. Like that's one of the things that stands out for me. So it's like, oh, and fucking Victor Timely. Fucking Victor Timely. I'm not mocking people who like are genuine stutterers, man. That's some bullshit. I had a friend that I went to school with had a stutter. I feel for stutterers, and I do not mock stutterers. But Victor Timely, as a character, was ass. Stupid ass stutter. Which, by the way, it wasn't even that close to a real stutter. He was annoying as shit. Like, I literally enjoyed watching him getting repeatedly spaghetti. Like, that made me happy. And He Who Remains killed it. Like, I'm sorry, man. When shit annoys me, it annoys me, and like I have a hard time getting past it. So, I also have the ADHD. So, like Josh, I hyperfixate and I loop. Owen Wilson and Loki, though, we need more of that. 100% agree with that. Like, I want a healthy dose of Mobius and Doomsday, bro. For, like, those sections when they do the TVA shit. I want a healthy dose of Mobius, man. He Who Remains was the best King variant we got shown. That is 100% motherfucking fact. King the Conqueror in Quantumania was like about to be right there until the end. I mean, he was fixing to be right up there with He Who Remains until that end of the movie. And then King the Conqueror ended up being King the Conquered bitch. That was a bummer. But yeah, no, He Who Remains is dope. Like, Jonathan Majors has acted his ass off. Oh, and that fucking post-credit scene with all the kings. If they'd have just kept it to Immortus, and the other two whose names escape me. What up, Delta Dan? I'm implementing your idea. Have you noticed? Who are the other, like, the actual kings that mattered in that post-credit scene? It was Immortus. What's the Egyptian-sounding fucking name? And wasn't the other one supposed to be like Scarlet something, although he wasn't red? Like Scarlet something in the comic. Is it Ramatut? Immortus, Ramatut, and the other one. If they had just kept that post-credit scene with those three, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, they fucked him up. He Who Remains is awesome. All the rest suck. Or King the Conqueror was mostly cool, except for the end. Kind of like a Disney Plus show. Anyway. But yeah, Loki is going in A. I'm not keeping them separate. Season 2 can stay down there. Overall, that show's an A. What if? What if? Y'all remember that Creed tune? What if? What if? What if I? Think we would have liked King a little more had we met him first rather than He Who Remains first. I think we would have liked King just fine if he hadn't gotten chucked into his own machine by Scott fucking Lang. Like, if they'd have ended that the way they should have, which is King kicks the absolute fuck out of the ant family, maybe even kills one, hops in his machine, and leaves them stranded in the fucking quantum realm, people would have been totally down with King the Conqueror. It wouldn't matter who got introduced first. All they had to do was end that movie correctly. And people would be like, He Who Remains and King the Conqueror are fucking dope. Yep. We're counting the cartoons. The ones that whoever created this list put on here, yeah, but there's not many. And they forgot it. Oh, no, it's on there. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, there's Disney Plus shows that the dude remembered to put on here that I didn't know how to add to, and then there's some shit on here that doesn't belong on here. I'm using another list, and we're just fucking working with it, all right, Executive Judge? Damn. But yes. That was the original ending, but the test screenings didn't go well, so they made the safe ending. No, that is not why they changed the ending. They changed the ending because it leaked, and Feige fucking hated that. The official story is the test screening. The actual story is Feige was so fucking pissed off that the ending leaked that he changed it. Now, I do believe the test screenings didn't go well, despite the fact that the trades put out that Marvel was surprised that this movie didn't pop off. I've always called bullshit on that. I mean, it's out there in the trades, so if I need to, I will use it to bolster my point in a debate. But, yeah. Well, I would have said rare at the end of, like, halfway through Phase 4. He kind of stacked them up. Although, just as a quick aside, there's a couple considerations. and I know Josh has talked about this, but there's that one clip from Grace Randolph where she's talking about how a lot of the Phase 4 talent that was hired on James Gunn's recommendation. The people that made the shit that we didn't like. So between that, now that's a Feige mistake for listening, which resulted in a series of L's. The shit rolled downhill on that one. And between that and the consideration of if Iger fucked with Lucasfilm as much as Josh's source alleges, then who's to say that he didn't turn around and start fucking with Feige in the same manner? Could be. Not saying it is. Just saying it's not a thought that shouldn't be had. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's a justified consideration. And I forgot what fucking show we're on. Yeah, what show are we on? Did I look at one? After look. Oh yeah, What If? What do we think about What If, chat? And again, whoever made this included both seasons, but just included the first 2 seasons, even though there's now 3 for us to consider. But what do we think of What If overall? What do we think of What If overall, chat? I enjoyed the first season. I liked second season. Third season was meh, except for a couple things here and there. So I would literally put first season A, second season B, third season C. So the average overall of that, especially if you recall back to school when we were getting these grades, if you racked up an A and then a B and then a C in any order, the average is always B. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the entirety of What If being placed at level B? Now remember, we are taking these on an individual basis with no consideration for which franchise we may like more, which franchise we think is already cooked and just want to trash everything based on that. That is not what we're doing here, folks. We are taking each individual project on its own, how we think about it on its own, not compared to anything else, not compared to the IP it comes from, not compared to other shows, just how we see that show. That is the only way to get a legitimate result on our quest to find out which of these franchises had the overall better Disney Plus slate. What do you guys think about What If? Excuse me, that Diet Coke be talking. Did you guys know Diet Coke has the most carbonation out there of sodas? That's why it takes so long to pour. It fizzes up more than any other soda. You know that shit. What about it, guys? What if? B tier? Yay, nay? Eat some hay? Along the way? To LA? Why you love it the most? You love the burn? What? You lost me on that one. Griff! You want to put What If in A? Okay, interesting. I'm probably not gonna, but that's an interesting perspective. What What part of What If do you like more than other people? That's what I'm curious about, Griff. If you wouldn't mind answering that. Also, what up, man? Hope you're doing well. Oh, the McDonald's Diet Coke has extra carbonation. Oh yeah. Well, just Diet Coke in general has the most pretty much in the industry. But yeah, McDonald's Diet Coke. Did you know they have their own syrup formula that Coca-Cola Company makes just for McDonald's? It's not even McDonald's Diet Coke is not the same as what you get in a 20 ouncer or a 12 pack or 2 liter. It's its own special motherfucking formula, which is why it's better than any other Diet Coke out there. McDonald's Diet Coke is literally the best because it has its own formula. Yep. Season 1 and 2 were pretty good. So you probably hold season 2 in higher esteem than most, I would say. Like, I like season 2. I didn't like it as much as I liked season 1. But I definitely liked it more than I liked season 3. You did know that? I figured you did. I don't know that everyone does, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me that you knew it at all. Well, that's cool, Griff. But I'm still leaving it in B. All right, next. Hawkeye. I know I saw it in here somewhere. Problem is, I looked for all these earlier, but if y'all know me, you know I don't remember shit. There it is. Hawkeye. I'm leaving the pointer right over it. The pointer. The mouse. I'm fingering Hawkeye for now. All right, chat. How do we feel about Hawkeye? Let's begin. I'm going to begin where we tend to begin with Disney Plus shows and say that finale was lame. I did overall enjoy the show. You maybe B tier. Okay. Executive judge says C. Also gets delivered in grounds pre-made and kegs with carbonation already in it rather than a bag of syrup. Now, I can 100% tell you that that is not true at any McDonald's I ever worked at. I've only worked at 2, but Diet Coke came in the fucking same cardboard things with the bag in the middle of it, just like everything else. Hawkeye's a C. C-Dub says C. Kate was a great addition, though. I mean, wow, I'm brain farting on her name. Anyway, but yeah, no, she's in a great addition to anything she's in. Yep, like the actress in general, but excuse me. Disney MCU shows pre-Loki season 2 had a huge problem with ending strong with their finales. Yeah. Actually, I'd say all of them outside of Loki season 1 and season 2 had a problem, live action wise. Anyway. So, I do agree, chat. Hawkeye is definitely, damn it. Oh, there it is. Hawkeye is a C show. It was enjoyable overall. Finale was, and there were too many corny moments in there for me. So, they leaned too heavily into the Marvel humor in some spots. Exactly. Speed up. Again, as we alluded to earlier, another moment, another shitty attempt at passing the torch, as it were. If you fuck that up, it's over. Alrighty. Hawkeyes in C. Next is Moon Knight. There he is. Moon Knight. How do we feel about Moon Knight, chat? And as we always do, automatically acknowledging the finale was dumb. There we go. So we'll start there, as we will do probably 98% of the time. Finale was stupid. So between B or C, yeah, basically it comes down to how much we enjoyed it up until the finale. Now I liked it. I thought it was a cool show. I wish there was more regular Moon Knight and less Mr. Knight in there. You know? First half A tier, second half low C. I wouldn't even go the full second half. I would say probably just the last 2 episodes are like the bummer. Was that a 6 or 8 episode show? So that's either 2/3 are still cool or 3/4 of it is still cool. But as I said, the average of A and C is a B. Executive judge says between B or C. Brooke says B. I enjoyed most of it myself. Again, finale weird. Hippo Goddess weird. I wanted less Mr. Knight, more straight up Moon Knight fucking shit up. I wish they actually would have included, who's the third personality? Jake, the psycho one that they kept alluding to and only gave us in a post credit. Rob, what up? Hawkeye was a B. I'm glad you enjoyed it that much. All right, chat. Well, I guess it looks like Moon Knight was a C. I mean, the last 2 episodes did hurt it. So B or C. C, I'm torn. I'm torn. I kind of really want to put it in B, but I don't know if I can. The more I think about it, the more I got to put it in C. I really wanted to put it in B. I really wanted to, but I couldn't do it. Ms. Marvel. Where are we at on Ms. Marvel, chat? Fuck, I know she's in here. Oh, there she is, right there. Okay. How do we feel about Ms. Marvel, chat? The ending was not great, but it was not as weak as others. Executive judge says C, right from jump. Boom, it's a C. All right. The ending was not great, but it wasn't as weak as other endings were. And Mom Filani's really, really fun. I like her. The show did that typical Disney Plus thing. It actually started off pretty strong and then kind of tapered off in the middle, and then the end was what it was. Rob says, I enjoyed Ms. Marvel, but high C, low B. Yeah, like I didn't hate it. I thought it was a decent show. But kind of starting to be the tale of Marvel. Another C tier show. The scenes with Kamala and the Khan family and her friends were way cooler than the actual superhero parts of it. I mean, a lot of I wouldn't say all the time, but a lot of the time, yeah. Same for Ironheart, surprisingly. Ironheart charted repeatedly, though. That's the fun part about Ironheart. So, yep. I think we can safely say Ms. Marvel C tier. Oh, the final Phase 4 Disney Plus product from Marvel. She-Hulk. I don't think we need to have an in-depth conversation about this one, do we, chat? Yeah, we don't. Yep. All right, now we move on to Phase 5. Like I said, yeah, we didn't have to speak deeply about that one. All right, Phase 5. Secret Invasion. Again, not a lot to talk about. Where'd it go? Talk about. I've been trying to forget about that motherfucker, and I never can because it always has to come up for some reason or another. You actually like the finale for how creative it was of Secret Invasion? Oh, talking about She-Hulk? Oh, yeah, I really did not like the finale at all. Like, someone who knows the comics help me out? Was She-Hulk a fourth wall breaker like Deadpool, like in the comics? Even if she was, that was still lame. Yeah, so again, not a lot of discussion about Secret Invasion. Again, they count Loki season 2. What if Echo? How do we feel about Echo, chat? How do we feel about the Echo show? In case you forgot, little history. It was supposed to be an 8-episode show. Ended up being a 5-episode show. And they dropped it all at once. I thought that show was really fucking solid. I liked it. Except for that stupid ass finale. Like, not even a just not good finale. That was a bad finale. However, F-, I know, right? However, because the first 4 episodes were actually quite good in my opinion, which means 80% of them were good out of a 5-episode show. I'm actually going to put Echo up in the B tier. I refuse to allow that finale to drop it down into C tier. I shall not do it. It's a B tier show for me. So let it be written, so let it be done. Agatha all along. This is how old this list is. Echo was a C. Thought it went off the rails towards the end. Well, the end it went off the rails for sure. This still says Coven of Chaos, but we know it's Agatha all along. How do we feel about Agatha, folks? How do we feel about Agatha, chat? I'll tell you right now, I was very pleasantly surprised. I did not know. I thought it was going to be more phase 4 and 5, whatever. Actually, that would have been phase 4. That's how old that show was by the time it came out. That was a phase 4 show. It released during phase 5, but that was a phase 4 show. Surprisingly, S tier? Okay. We have an S tier vote for Agatha. High B or A for Brooke. That is 100% accurate, Mr. Rob. And I really, really, really enjoyed Agatha. Even some of the cringy parts were like in other projects, I would have cringed a lot more. I was just like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. And then the rest of it was really, 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 really good. It actually had a really good finale, in my opinion. Oh, I don't know if the main part is better than WandaVision, but it definitely it definitely landed the plane a lot better than WandaVision did. Like it actually landed on the wheels. IB. Agatha was an A for Rob. I am going to put Agatha in the A tier. That show was really fucking good. And it actually nailed the landing. And it was done by the same lady that did WandaVision. I can't remember her name, but fucking kudos to her. So yeah, I'm putting Agatha in A tier. That was a damn fine show. What's left? Oh, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't know that we really need to debate that one too much. That was an A tier show, man. We all love that shit. Should we put it in S tier? Was Friendly Neighborhoods? I mean, it's easily an A tier show. I don't think we need to talk about that too much. Is your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man an S tier show? Jack Schaefer. What up, Brennan? Can't count him in on the animation except for X-Men 97. Don't worry, we'll get to that one. What about your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man chat? Was that an S tier show? It's definitely an A tier show, but was it an S tier show? You didn't watch it? You didn't watch your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Bro, you need to watch it. It's so good. What did you miss? Things might actually be looking better for James Gunn's chances of surviving the sale at Warner Brothers, but maybe not. But there's been encouraging news. Well, get interested, Executive Judge. It's a really fucking good show. And then now we are ranking all the Disney Plus shows from both Marvel and Star Wars, and we are going to determine when it's all said and done which franchise had the better overall slate of shows. I'm keeping track over here. Not as good as X-Men 97, so it can't be S tier. Okay. I understood another Spider-Man origin story with a different coat of paint. I mean, that's fair, but it's really fucking good. They actually full circle some shit in a really cool way. I'll just see that. See Peter grow and develop already. That's why you're so excited for Brand New Day. Oh no, I mean that's totally fair. That's totally fair. All I'll say is some of the changes that are made in this show, because there have been alterations to certain aspects of Peter's life. Give a whole new perspective on early Peter Parker that I thought was actually really cool. Now, so far as C-Dub's logic goes, it can't be S. It wasn't as good as X-Men 97, so it can't be S tier. To that I say, I've seen a lot of people go high B, low C. You said low C for, what was it, the second half of some show? So I'm going to say Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is low S. Oh, they didn't even put X-Men 97 on here? What the fuck? Well, that's stupid. So we'll take care of that shit right now. There it is. I have to keep moving when I take shit out. Yeah. Oh, stop it. Where'd it go? There it is. X-Men 97 is high S. It's perfection. Dude, it's so good. Y'all underestimating the Friendly of Spider-Man. Daredevil Born Again. There it is. Daredevil Born Again. Rob says solid A. Could be S with a couple tweaks. Okay. Looks like a Spider-Man except for the Spider-Verse. Really? Okay. Daredevil Born Again, chat. Unless you split up seasons, Marvel has a better slate than Star Wars, just due to volume. Well, that's why I'm not splitting up seasons. Because I don't want it to be automatic. I'm going overall show. Daredevil Born Again. Bit of a divisive show. There were some people that loved it. There were some people that loved it. I saw them out there. There were definitely some people that hated it. Definitely some people that hated it. Fair chunk of people hated that motherfucker. I overall enjoyed it. There were some parts that it definitely could have done without. Like, that was an 8-episode show that easily could have been a 6-episode show. Like, let's be real. That could have easily been a 6-episode season. But the season premiere was mostly dope. The finale was definitely dope. Actually, the last 2 episodes were pretty good. And the same people that did the shit that we actually liked are the people that are in charge of all of season 2. So season 2 is going to be fucking lit, y'all. Like, trust. Season 2 is going to be lit. And of course, we're getting the double Ds. And who doesn't love double Ds? Everyone loves double Ds. So yeah, Born Again season 1, since that's all we have, is a B. Many people would put it in C. There are a chunk of people who put it in D. Some people put it in A. But we're collectively super smart, and we're putting it in B. Ironheart. Oh, look, they have zombies on here. How do we feel about Ironheart, chat? Where is she? I know I've seen her. There she is. How do we feel about Ironheart? Ballroom episode was actually your favorite episode, and it wasn't even action heavy. Really felt like you were watching the Netflix show over again? See, no. Netflix show was better than that. Like, all 3 seasons of the Netflix Daredevil were better than Born Again. Oh, D'Onofrio is amazing. Josh Blumenthal. You mean John Bernthal? Now, if you meant John Bernthal, who is playing Punisher, then 100% agree. D'Onofrio, they're all amazing. Especially that one scene where he first finds Frank. By the way, did you guys know that Bernthal wrote that scene? When Matt finds him, Bernthal wrote that motherfucking scene. And he's writing the special. Oh my god, that special is going to be fucking amazing. That Punisher special is going to be fucking lit. And I am excited for it. Ironheart, though. Where are we at on Ironheart, chat? Brooke says B, or Executive Judge says B. The scene of Matt and Frank's happy reunion, that'd be the one. Bernthal wrote that motherfucker. Just found that out. Netflix Daredevil wasn't just peak, it wrecked Marvel TV because nothing ever lived up to its standard. Yeah, pretty much. Although I think this Punisher special just might. I think this Punisher special just might. D for you. Ironheart is a D. Okay. I don't think it's a D. It's a decent show. And I'm not a fan of Dominique Thorne, just as an actress. What's his fuzz? The dude that played Hood was really good. It's an orange. A? That's orange. And no. If they tweaked a couple things, I would consider putting it in B. Just it was liked enough to chart repeatedly, so kudos to it for that. But it's a C show. Yep, Ironheart's a C show. What have we got down here that we may have missed? Are we missing anything that we need to for Marvel? Armor Wars, that's never happening. Movie. Blade movie. Movie. Don't care about the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Or I am Groot. Movie. Oh yeah, zombies. Where do you want to put zombies? By the way, that version of Aid has an E at the end. Just so you know. Tito says, I'm interested where they're going with Ironheart, but take out Mephisto and probably wouldn't care at all. I mean, that's fair. What about zombies, y'all? How do you feel about zombies? I'm leaning B tier. What do you guys think? I liked it. I'm leaning B. I know the character focus was fairly annoying for a lot of people. But that part didn't bother me because, again, this was essentially a Phase 4 project when it was done. So I was expecting that kind of thing, and the rest of it was pretty damn dope, in my opinion. It was fine, says Executive Judge. All right. I'm throwing it in B. Well, bam. Right. So, any more? Season 2 movie. Okay, we're done with the Marvel guys. Just as I joined the watch party because I didn't have anything better to do. I mean, hey, I'll take it. All right, guys, we're done with Marvel. This is where we're at. Eyes of Wakanda was good, but not that good. Yeah, see, that one's not on here. But I would have put it in B. Eyes of Wakanda was a B show. No, we're not. What? No, the whole point of this is to compare the Marvel and Star Wars slates. So now we're going to Star Wars. We're going to compare, we're going to contrast, and then we're going to be like, hey, this franchise did better on Disney Plus. That's what we're finding out right now. And by the way, anyone who is currently here, please hit the like if you haven't done so. And if you're currently here and also new, hit the subscribe and the bell, please and thank you. All right, on to Star Wars. I don't care about droids or Ewoks. Clone Wars isn't on there. Neither is Rebels, which is annoying. Bad Batch. Matt, how do we feel about Bad Batch? Three-season show. Season 3 was better than The Mandalorian season 3. You guys remember how they were on in consecutive nights and how often the episode of Bad Batch that week was better than the episode of The Mandalorian that week? Y'all remember that shit? I remember that shit. I'm grabbing another drink. How do we feel about Bad Batch? Bad Batch give B. Not big stars, guys. I'll let y'all nerdy nerds have the floor. That's funny. Anyone else want to weigh in on Bad Batch? All right, well, I do hereby declare that In the Basement, The Bad Batch is an A-tier show. That's right. I said it and I stand on it. Bad Batch is an A-tier show. Distance, compare Visions. Now, I haven't watched season 3 yet. Visions on here. There it is. I haven't watched season 3 yet. I liked most of season 1. I didn't like a whole lot of season 2. Don't know about season 3 yet. Has anyone watched season 3 at all? Does anyone watch the show? C-Dub doesn't watch it. Bad Batch is a B. Well, it's an A in this motherfucker. It's an A up in the basement, bitch. What's the grade scale? Same as fucking school. Except there's an S on there. What the fuck are we talking about right now? I forgot. Oh, Vision, that's right. I think it just dropped today. Or maybe some people had early access. I'm not 100% sure. No, I'm putting Visions in C. Like I said, I like most of the first season. I didn't like much of the second season. Excuse me, so I'm giving it a C. Tales. Now, they don't have Empire and Underworld on here, but they do have Tales of the Jedi. Which was S tier. Tales of the Jedi was S tier. Does anyone here disagree? What's up, Brandon? We are tier listing all the Disney Plus shows, or at least a fair chunk of them, from Vision C. Yep, that's where we put that motherfucker. Well, we're getting to the live action. Don't worry. This is just the animation section right now because that's how Wikipedia broke it down. So, but yeah, Tales of the Jedi is S tier. They do not have Empire or Bounty Hunter on there, but I'll just tell you right now, Tales of the Empire would have been D. Tales of the Bounty Hunters would have been B. Is that tonight's game? Because the only thing I know about tonight's game so far is like Toronto's first two batters back-to-back home runs, like in the first inning. That's crazy, though. Dodgers bats are ice cold. Oh, damn. And his last name is pronounced Savage. I don't know how it's spelled, so okay. It's not Savage, like Savage Opress. That's a bummer. All right. What the fuck were we talking about? Is that all the animation in here? Adventures, don't care. Mall, that comes out next year, but I think that's going to be dope. That doesn't count for tonight. All right, looks like we're done with animation. All right, here we go. Okay, The Mandalorian. Yes, season 3 was weak as fuck. But overall, it's an 8-tier show. The Mandalorian is an A-tier show. I don't really think we needed to over-discuss that, do we? Yeah, season 3 was weak as fuck. It did have some cool parts, so it wasn't like a total loss. But season 1 and season 2 were fucking awesome. So it's an A-tier show. The Book of Boba Fett, chat. How do we feel about the Book of Boba Fett? You give season 2 of The Mandalorian a B? Good Book of Boba Fett a B. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Tales of the Jedi is S tier, and that's where I put it. I don't know. He'll accept it. That's funny. D for Book of Boba Fett for Randon. C for Brennan. Can we judge Book of Boba Fett without the 2 Manda episodes? Yes. I was actually thinking about that myself because those were just there. Clone Wars Season 7 is S tier. That is 100% correct. Yeah, you can take out, what was it, episodes 4 and 5 were the Mando episodes. Yeah, they were good, but they didn't belong in that fucking season. I'm going to give Book of Boba Fett a C. I didn't hate it. The Scooter Gang killed it. They definitely didn't help. I don't really think that's what killed it, though. Might have been the straw. But that's not what did the most damage, in my opinion. There he is. Obi-Wan Kenobi, chat. Do we want to drop Book of Boba Fett into D? A lot of people are saying D. I'm not going to argue. This is a pseudo sort of democracy when I feel like listening to you guys. And only because there's no F tier. No, I would not put Book of Boba Fett in F. It wasn't that bad. Now we'll get to a show that deserves F, though. It's coming. Obi-Wan Kenobi, chat. Where are we at on Obi-Wan Kenobi? Use your hate. How do we feel about Kenobi? Let her rip, Tater Chip. C or D tier for Brooke. Okay. Anybody else? C. Okay. C. Okay. Well, while I did have some very, very cool bits and pieces, that show really pissed me the fuck off. Yep, that's right. That's right. I'm dropping it down there. That's right. I'm D-tiering that bitch. For a lot of reasons, I could go on a whole diatribe, but I'm not gonna. We've all heard it all before. We've heard it all before. We're man. These Star Wars shows tended to cause some controversy, didn't they? Andor's next, chat. How do we feel about Andor, chat? I need to leave this bitch standing up long enough to get a good idea. How about the look of the High Inquisitor was ugh. High C tier for Andor, says Brooke. Anybody else? A non-Star Wars show? So what am I putting you down for, Brennan? C or D? You haven't watched it? I'm going to say what I usually say about Andor. As a television show, it was actually really well made. Good dialogue, good plot, well acted, well directed. Well put together TV show. It did have a lot of pacing problems. Old people fuck at a faster pace than a lot of that show went. But overall, a very well made TV show on all technical levels. Nice sci fi TV show. Now, we come to the fact that it was made under the Star Wars banner. Which, while it had Star Wars stuff in it, had absolutely none of the mythical aspects that are a core part of Star Wars. It sort of had the traditional hero's journey. It had shit in it that should never be in Star Wars. I will put Andor in B. Ahsoka. How do we feel about Ahsoka, chat? Rob says Ahsoka's an A. Ahsoka's a high B or A from Brooke. Finale was a bit lackluster. That is 100% accurate. Here's how I personally feel about Ahsoka. The first 3 episodes were pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. The middle 3 episodes were fucking amazing. And then the last 2 episodes, not that great. C-Dubs gives Ahsoka a B+. Brandon says A to S. C-Dub says it has A potential. Rob, skipping ahead, says Acolyte Episode 3 makes it the worst show ever produced. F tier, sitting in Papa Nick Fury's lap eating a plate of dog shit tacos. I don't know, Rob. Do you not like that show? I loved it, but realistically, probably an A. It's an A. Despite episodes 7 and 8, it's an A tier show. And now we come to an automatic. Where's that fucking... There it is. Get out of my face. Get that Acolyte out of my face. And now we conclude with Goonies in Space, also known as Skeleton Crew. What do we think about Skeleton Crew, chat? I liked Rogue One, and I liked the mythical dude. Donnie Yen is amazing. Skeleton Crew is a solid B. Power of 1, power of 2, power of many Fs. That's a good one, Brennan. I like that. You haven't watched that one? It's fun. I don't know how old you are, but if you were around for or went back and watched and enjoyed 80s movies, like primarily The Goonies is a good example, but like any kind of little kid adventure. What up, Delta Dan? Along those lines. Who's the fucking... Not John Hughes. He did the other shit. God damn it. Anyway. Thought I'd be over by now? No, not quite. But yeah, so if you're Gen X, it hit you in the feels and was very nostalgic for you. That show was written for Gen Xers by a Gen Xer. And also for kids. That show was written for Gen Xers and kids, and it probably missed a lot of other people. I'll just put it that way. But since I'm a Gen Xer, where'd it go? There it is. It's going to be a B tier show. Definitely not good enough for A tier, but it was fun, and it's a B tier show. Now, We got 10 Star Wars shows and 16 Marvel. We can't just go hard numbers. Because we would need 5 more Star Wars shows. Exactly, C-Dub. Okay, Randon, for sure. Well, then you'd probably enjoy the show. You wouldn't be amazed by it, but you'd probably enjoy it then. All right. Well, I could literally do it like grade school. S tier would be like 100, A 90, B 80, C 70, and D 60. And then I can do average. All right. I'm going to turn up the music. It was A tier in your opinion. It's the only live action Star Wars show your kids loved. I mean, that's fair. All right, chat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn up the music because I'm going to do some math for a minute. And then, so just so you know what I'm doing, I'm going to explain it. Pirates of the Caribbean plus Goonies plus space. Okay, yes. Thank you. Yes, I knew I was forgetting another aspect of it, but yeah, definitely. Pirates of the Caribbean plus Goonies in space. Nailed it. All right, so I'm going to do some math here for a minute. Bear with me. Again, treating it like a report card. Okay, so S tier is going to be worth 100, A tier is going to be worth 90, B tier 80, C tier 70, D tier 60. And I'm going to be averaging all that shit out. I forgot how to do this math. Okay, chat. Putting new batteries in the TI-82. Fuck off. Using an abacus. Fuck all y'all. I was doing that all in my head, which is very full of cannabinoids right now. So leave me the fuck alone. And you spelled abacus wrong. And I never struggled to turn it on. I just chose not to, bitch. Anywho, we have a winner. The Disney Plus shows for Star Wars. When you average it all out like a report card, Star Wars scored a 78. When you did the same thing with Marvel, Marvel scored a 79 by 1 motherfucking percent. 1. Marvel had the better overall slate. Yeah, I did that. It was the division that took the longest. Once I remembered exactly how to do it. Hold on. Anywho, I got there. I didn't forget to carry anything. Except my sanity. Yeah, by 1 percentage point, and technically not even a full percentage point, Marvel had the better slate. There we have it, folks. It's in the books. It has been declared. So let it be written. So let it be done. Marvel had the better Disney Plus slate. Whatever. What do you think, chat? What do you think? I think that was pretty fun. Do you agree? Do you disagree? The stream plus that amazing slice of cheesecake plus blinker equals peaceful happiness. I mean, I can't argue. She only does like slapping little balls. Only yours, Puddin'. Of course, they're not small, but. What do you think, chat? You cool with that? You cool with declaring Marvel a winner by an extraordinarily narrow margin? And I mean fucking narrow. There it is. Spread the word. The answer is found. By a pube. Marvel has the better overall slate. Yeah. You thought it would be a close race? So did I. I didn't know it was going to be that super duper close. But I did think it was going to be close. What the fuck happened there? That was weird. All right. Okay, chat. Do you think Marvel has a better future too for now? Yes, I agree with that as well. But I'm going to get on out of here, y'all. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Granted, not much news, but no, I'm not as good. What do we grade all the Disney Plus shows so far combined? I mean, if you just want to use these averages, it's a 78 for all of them overall. And there was nothing redundant in what I just said. which means overall the Marvel Disney Plus or the Disney Plus shows for even the franchises combined is a 78. So that means Disney Plus gets a C plus. If we're going grade school style, which means it's just which means mid. Disney Plus is mid. Yeah, they are making progress because you're right. They are actually running their shows like TV shows with actual showrunners and show Bibles and shit like that. So yeah, they finally learned that fucking lesson. So the shows going forward should be better. But we can only grade them on right now, and right now, Disney Plus for both franchises and overall is fucking mid. Not complete garbage, definitely not awesome. Fucking mid. There we go. Seriously, I'm getting the fuck out of here now. I still gotta get up and go to fucking work tomorrow. And then dash tomorrow night. Do this with the movies, Marvel still wins. Oh, I don't need to do that. I don't even need to. Yeah, no. I know that. Not even all this shit in Phase 4 and 5 can take down the amazingness that was Phase 3. So, yeah, Marvel wins. Or of the Infinity Saga in general. Remember when Disney Plus came out and the future of Marvel looked so promising? Good times. I remember when Disney Plus came out and they made it seem like it was just going to be like this dope ass vault for $8 a month, where if you can, if it was on Disney and you want to watch it, if it was a Disney product, movie, whatever, and you want to watch it, you just click on there and watch it. Remember that? And then they decided to compete with Netflix and fuck it all up. Yep. All right. God damn it. I'm leaving. I love y'all. Thanks for being here. Y'all are dope. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. And as far as I know, well, no more watch parties the rest of the year. There's no more shows. So we're back to Wednesday, Saturday. And that's it. And that's all. So we'll see you Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Please and thank you. Come back. Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you Saturday night. Bye. If you rate each episode in each series as a separate entity, it may flip. Yeah, but that would take like 4 hours or longer. Disney Plus is the more expensive Wednesday night primetime TV. It needs to be like the old Thursday night. I think I know what you mean. I'm not sure, but yes. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Time is precious. I say this all the time, and it's always true. Time is precious, and you guys choose to spend it here. That's fucking amazing. And I really, really appreciate it. I don't understand it all the time, but I really appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. Be safe. Enjoy what you can when you can. And just stand strong and plow through the rest. And while you're doing all that, also do this. Remember, wherever you are and whoever you're with, always keep it nerdy. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Much love. Peace.